Sure, it's not the best update, even performance wise, it really hasn't hindered performance that much, especially, it has that Apple A9 chip, which I think has always been pretty good. It has that dual core CPU and 2 gigs of RAM. And in this day and age, in 2020, especially the later part of 2020, with us about to be getting those new iPhones, it's going to be really interesting to see the dynamic and shift of how Apple is going to utilize the amount of RAM that they're going to use on their devices. Because specs on paper, obviously you see 2 gigs of RAM, you might not think it's that great, but honestly, for the iPhone 6s, the performance-wise, it's a really decent performing device with the amount of RAM that it has on paper. And the fact of the matter is that Apple is going to be pushing more RAM into their devices. We're going to be getting like probably 6 gigs of RAM, maybe. Eventually we'll get 8 and 10. You really only need like 3 gigs of RAM to have like an extremely smooth experience overall on iOS. And even 2 gigs is an extremely good amount of RAM to have too. So in my opinion, the performance on iOS 14 on the iPhone 6s has been good for the most part. It's not great, it's slower than iOS 13, but it's been a pretty smooth, straight line in terms of the stability of it, in my opinion. These phones haven't really, boot looped on me. And again, this is the first version of this software. When we do get iOS 14.4 and 14.7 or whatever, it's going to be going to be a smoother experience overall. It's just right now, it's not that smooth. But like I said, in due time, it will be better and it will get better overall. So performance-wise, I think it's a solid, probably like 7.5 out of 10 for how old this device is, how much it costs, and the fact that it's still supported. If I was talking about the iOS 13 performance, ending off at 13.7, I still have an iPhone 6s that's on iOS 13.7, and it's a pretty good experience too. I think a majority of people are still on iOS 13 if they have this device. So in the later part of 2020, performance-wise, I think it holds up well enough for you to use. I wouldn't probably use it as a main phone, but I still think for the majority of people out there, I think they're probably going to be okay with it. It's not going to wow them, but it will get the job done. And the fact that you're still getting software updates is a really big asset for sure. Now ending it off.